Thank you again. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, welcome everyone. Again, I'm going to show brief teachings on the Dharma of Buddha, and for that reason, again, we're going to reactivate our beautiful motivation of the joy and the appreciation, vastness motivation of the Bodhisattva, and then the realization of the view of the Vajra teaching of the three Vajras, all have perfect realizations, trying to bring all those as much as we can, and with those beautiful motivation, then we reflect the teachings. Teaching that what we've been talking again is gracious teacher, His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche teaching, known as help instructions to the fortunate ones. We're following that teaching, and I'm going to let the details of this each point, because basically all of us, and this is my of course thought, that if we all heard teaching from many great masters, as well as we read many books, but all those are so good, which is known as the starting of the Buddhism, Buddha teaching. And then along with that, I'm sure you all did, or you all did some reading of contemplate on those, which is also wonderful. Those are known as a wisdom that comes from the studying, wisdom that comes from the contemplating. Now, what we need, we have to observe that our knowledge, our understanding of the teaching into heart, and activating the realization. Dharma have to be mingled with the mind. It's not just a Dharma have to be intellectual status. Dharma have to be mingled to the heart. When you mingle the Dharma to the heart, what is in the teaching? As we chant or we pray many times, say, may my realization will mature my own mind. We have to mature our mind. For that reason, great teacher Buddha said, tame our mind, tame your mind. Tame your mind means mature our mind. Present time, our mind is not matured, and our mind is not tamed. Why? Because of all the different negative emotions. We went those quite few details, and again, of course, you all know. That negative emotions hovering in our mental state always, tendency is ignorance, tendency is grasping and clingings. Now we have to change that, trying to change that. In order to what? The more natural, positive mind. And that, when we're trying to do that, that is known as really practicing Dharma. The Dharma is not coming from outside someone, according to Buddhism. Dharma is something we activated our own nature. Kindness, compassion, love, joy, wisdom. Those are what really we need. So therefore, in order to do this, to make more that strong and more tangible, more rooted in our heart, that is known as practicing, or meditating and practicing. That is. But that is also known as then following the path of the teachings. Path of truth. We have mentioned many times that all teachings can be summarized into the Four Noble Truths. Suffering truth, cause of suffering truth, those we went. Those are samsaras. Suffering truth, cause of suffering truth is samsara. Now we like to change that to the nirvanas. In order to do the nirvana, we have to follow the path of truth. Path of truth is also same as another terminology, is good karma. It's good things. good karma is the process of the following the path truths. Now to go to the path truth is what in the teaching often said. You have to thinking of the benefit of the nirvanas or the enlightenment or the benefit of the spiritual qualities. Dharma. Dharma is, again, I said so many times, and we all know, is our nature of the mind. Loving kindness is Dharma. Compassion is a Dharma. Wisdom is a Dharma. Or combination of love and compassion, wisdom, those are really known as Dharma. When we cultivate that in the mind, in heart, and the activity, that is known as practicing the Dharma. And then, of course, the gracious teacher, kindness teacher, Buddha, kind of like made more simple, more easy, that we can target it. He put very beautiful guidelines and follow those instructions, then really we will discover our innate nature. And that is, then what it does, it will remove the difficulty troubles. All the difficulty troubles that we go through, it will be purified. It will clear away that. We will gain more wisdom, knowledge, understand, more openness of mind. And then at the same time, more love, more kindness, compassion. All that will come. Even there may be some difficult troubles that come up there, but we have more better understanding, knowledge, and wisdom, skills to solve all those problems so nicely, easily. Not just that, but we will transform those troubles, difficulties into the practice part to activate more our courage and commitment, confidence. Use that. As, for example, these days, we're using this situation, circumstance, many of us, as like personal retreat, group retreat, or virtual retreat. We all do using those skillful means to activate it, what is? To activate it, to let it bring fruition of the really our inner quality, of the beautiful quality of love and compassion, devotion and connection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and feel the meaning of life more calm, more peaceful, not rushing all the time. Really, we're doing those things. Those all beautiful tools will come. For example, this time situation, it's so kind of like all kind of tied up and close and everything. But since we have the Dharma, then we can use as retreat, personal retreat. Ancient time, those great masters, practitioners did retreat on the mountain, in a hermitage. That's what they call, like kind of hermitage is mentioned, because of busyness were not allowing to the rest, the relaxed state of the mind and discover our inner realization. For that reason, they go to the hermitage. But these days, even the situation, circumstances allowing that created that us, even in the city, we are hermitage in a way. Which is, according to Buddhist point of view, is really we are taking meaningful lives. Meaningful lives. Taking advantage of this. Something that we're using that. And to grow and develop a loving kindness, compassion, or bodhicitta. It's a wonderful situation. For that reason, Great Master Longchenpa said, in one of his teachings, said, that when difficult troubles or the hard situation comes, it allows me to do the practice, to meditate. So therefore, I'm thankful to those obstacles, the hard things. There's many verses of that, one after another, he thanked to all those difficulty troubles. So in all this, when we look at all those great masters who get the highest realizations, that they all went in beginning times, many difficulties, troubles, harsh, but they turned that into practice and turned into Dharma, that they become more courage, more commitment, more confidence, more patient, then truly they become the winner in the samsara. They become the beacon. They fill their heart with love, compassion, joy, and peaceful. And radiating that energy of love and compassion to all the living beings. They're not really depressed and kind of resentful and kind of all blaming them. Always calm, peaceful, love. That's what is known as courageous ones or the bodhisattvas. So in order to do this, thinking of those all compromised by the practicing Dharma, that is really what is all developed from the Dharma, all is developed from the discovering inner quality or the beauty of our own nature. That is really what happened. For that reason, always in the teaching mentioned, in order to do that, then it is always important to have the qualified teachers. Qualified teacher is important. Generally, the teacher is important to every knowledge, every studies. Even your genius, still you need teacher. There is no historians. I think maybe in mankind, to gain the knowledge without any teachers. Doesn't matter knowledge of samsara, knowledge of the Dharma. All they gain, someday they have to have some teacher, some personal kind of like assistant or inspirations from others. Then activated those genius kind of so suddenly, so quickly. Maybe they don't, not maybe, they don't, those genius don't have to go hard studying in a long time then. But something such small clicks have to happen with personal inspiration and contacts. That's how. And therefore, always in the teaching said that the teacher is so important. To read, until the Buddha, according to Buddhism, you need a teacher. Always. Person. Teacher is also in the Buddhism known as is a spiritual friend. It's not something that is a boss or something kind of like dictators or something kind of like as like watchers. But it's personal friend. That you are personal friend, you're going together along the path, along the journey, with love and with respect and appreciations to each other and moving forward to the enlightenment. And therefore, that teacher is, for that reason, always said it's important. For that reason, I talk really about the teachers. Now, if we're talking about the teachers, generally there is a variety of the teachers in the Dharma. But if kind of to summarize what in the teaching said, there is three kinds of teachers, if we can summarize. The ordinary teachers, and the realized teachers, or the bodhisattva teachers, and Buddha. Those are the three kind of principal teachings. Ordinary teachings in a Tibet called so-so jivas, the regular average beings. But still, these all need qualification, particularly the ordinary teaching. Qualification, those are gracious teacher, Buddha mentioned all the different teachings, so many, and as well as all the great masters also mentioned qualification of teachers. One, not really mentioned them. But I go very really of those qualifications. Or maybe yes, two. I will go. Two. One is I go according to the inner tantra qualifications. And other is the average of the Mahayana qualification, as explained. Very simple ways. First, inner tantra qualifications. In the teaching said that one who holds three treasures and obtain all the nectars. So 3 and 4, that is makes 4. 3 treasures, 1, 2, 3, and who hold nectars. 4. And then fifth one is one who's very responsibilities. Another one is, I think sixth, right? Sixth is now one who also understands tantras. And then the seventh is one who also knows the ritual ceremonies or ritual implements or ritual. And the eighth one is one who has lineage realizations. So those are the 8 principal qualities of the as explained in the inner tantras. So what are those first 3 treasures? Treasures of the Wu. Wu that understanding of all the relative truth are as pure as divine mandalas. And that in the relative truth, absolute level is completely as emptiness, pure from the beginning or great equanimity status. So realization of the purity and the equanimity in the united union state, that is the Wu. That is the first treasures. Second treasure is meditation. Treasure of a meditation. Meditation of the visualization, meditation of the completion stage. United together again, understanding. Together. That treasure hold. So that means also had the realization someday. Third treasure is a conduct, treasure of the conduct. And keeping up the general and particular samayas. And that is the third treasures. And the fourth, one who holds the nectar. Fourth one is the nectar. I also translate as a nectar, otherwise also in the teaching said the dam of the river. Dam. D-A-M-P, I believe. Dam of the river. So river of the lineage, teaching, who hold lineage river. All the empowerments, transmissions, blessings. Those who hold the river, that one you hold, or the nectar. The fifth one is the responsibilities. Responsibility of the keeping or not neglecting of the Vajrayana teaching, same time neglecting those who are interested, devoted students or practitioners. Helping and supporting, keeping up that. That is the fifth one. Sixth one is understanding of the tantras. Meaning of the tantra, what means tantras. And also their detailed teachings and the explaining of the tantra teachings, or one who have knowledge explaining the teachings. And the seventh is ritual ceremonies, or the ritual objects such as yajnas, or offerings, mudaras, and all the different implements of the Vajrayana teachings. And also know that, or the fire pujas, returning different offerings, all that. The final one is one who holds lineage teaching and got some degree realizations of the pith and structures. Something warm, calm, peaceful, love, kindness, compassion, matured their mind and heart, and gentle, and followed again exactly the instruction. What they teach one thing and do something. No, kind of line up what they say and what they do. What they're teaching, what they're doing. Kind of lined up pretty much. Those are explained, the qualification of the inner tantras. Again, there is so many teachings. I mean, for example, Buddha gave teachings from age 35 until age 81 or 82. So that means over 45 years Buddha gave the teachings. Plus Buddha gave in the celestial realms that maybe many of us didn't see things. Only highly designated, highly enlightened beings able to receive those teachings. So those old teachings has so many detailed teachings, and the teachers also qualification for teachers. And then the commentaries of the great masters explain also so many details, because that's how the lineage teachings are kept as such authentic and fresh, exactly as it started. From time of the Buddha until now, lineage teachings, teaching of the greatest kindness teacher of the Buddha is not spoiled, not diluted, not created the personal idea and put and diluted as like kind of like wishy-washy. All kept so precious, intact, and so nugget, and so blessed, so powerful. Therefore, qualifications of the teachers explained every those teachings, both like Buddha's teaching, scriptural, and as well as commentaries, everywhere. So what I say today, inner tantha is a small, just one of those teachings. In reality, it encompasses everything. It's both, not just the inner tantha, it can be applied to the Sutra teaching, and as well as the foundation Buddha's teaching, and Mahayana, Sutra Mahayana teaching, and all Vajrayana teaching can be applied. So this is what those are, the qualifications of the teacher. And how, again, and then the great master, Shantideva summarized into very simple one. And he says, and how, he said, the spiritual friends of the Mahayana teachings. Mahayana is one who had the expert knowledge of Mahayana teachings, and never gave up the vows of the Bodhisattva, even the cost of lives. These two, who had understood perfect meaning of the Mahayana teaching, and never gave up the vows of the Bodhisattva, even cost of lives. That is the two simplified true qualification of the masters. So that means expert of the Mahayana teaching has highlighted that, but at the same time, expert of all the teachings of the great Buddha Shakyamuni give, that have some knowledge, some understandings. And then have the vows, keeping up all the vows. That means Bodhisattva vows, what is vows of the Bodhisattvas? As I mentioned the other day, of course, you all know. You all know that. Those are known as the vows that will stop or preventing all the negativities. There's three vows of the Bodhisattva summarized. Vows that will stop all the negativities. One. Second is vows that will gather all the virtues, all the Dharma, all the virtues. Vows that will perform all beneficial activities. Those are the three vows of the principal vow. All vows of the wishing bodhicitta, vows of the actualizing bodhicitta, keeping up that. So that is simplified that. That means it's also all based upon what? Based upon bodhicitta. Never giving up the loving kindness, never giving up the compassion, never giving up the wisdom, combined that. And then when you have that, when you keep the love, when you keep the compassion, how that teacher will be, or how that spiritual friend will be. More calm, more peaceful, more loving, more caring, more concerning, and gentle down to the earth, not ego boosting, not creating and personal creation, this and that things, kind of performing all different things. Really down to the earth, mingling with the average individualists, but yet keeping those all beautiful qualities and benefiting for all the sentient beings with polite, kindness, compassion, respect. That is what these masters are, or this spiritual friend. Gevahini, that's what in the teaching says. Kalyan Matra, I think Sanskrit. That is what it is. So those are known as, when you have those are called teachings. Generally in the teaching said, this, for example, ordinary teacher, I divided into three. Ordinary or Soso Kivu Gavashini, an ordinary spiritual friend, and the Bodhisattva teachers, and the Buddha, those three. Ordinary teacher is not completely free from all the errors and mistakes. Ordinary teacher is not completely all the good qualities are completed, actualized. Ordinary teacher means is Sangha member, is still working for the enlightenment. Can have all the different mistakes and errors, still is obscure beings, but yet it can help us, inspire us, and support us to action. We will not have the capability to see the enlightened beings as teacher now. So follow our capabilities is to be practical. If we like to have the perfect teacher as the Buddha or the enlightened beings, we have to wait for a long time. Maybe we're never going to get unless practice. What in the teaching said, the Sambhogaya teachers only can see those 10th or the 8th Bhumi Bodhisattvas. Many average people, such as like us or me or like us, we're not yet on the really in light of the realization, big realizations. How we can see Buddha immediately? How we can see the Sambhogaya teacher? How we can see Manjushri? How we can see the Padma Samye immediately? Or Buddha Shakyamuni Tara? Or the Vajra Armor in the Ritod teaching? I'm not capable. So we have to do, now what we have to do, we have to do practical. More with common sense, according to our capabilities. Let's build up the realization. Then we can elevate it. Also teach it. In the teaching said, when you got higher realization, teach those high realization beings will be, you will meet easily those higher realization beings. Again, and those are great masters. We read in life stories. They receive teachings from those Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, this is one after another, all that thing. Because their high realization can have communication and have that capabilities. But for us, we just have to follow what we can do. That is more safer, more practical, and more nicer, and that's how we can develop. So with the contact with the teacher, and then receive the teachings, and following the path. That is known as then we begin to process changing we process of the entering the path, entering the Dharma. And among that, first one is then when we do is then taking refuge. But with that, refuge is the foundation of the entirely path truth. Or refuge is the ground of the path truth. From there we reach then from there we will go to the ground or the path to the enlightenment. And that's it. Then we can, from that we begin to changing our karmas. From that we begin to changing the direction of samsaras. That's the according to the teaching. That is how we should do. And that is my brief talk for today. And thank you so much everyone again for participating and coming. Thank you. Thank you very much everyone. Again, thank you. Thank you. Again we do short meditation as we